The housing market today is making it tough to get a good house at a good price, but it's not impossible. If buying a move-in ready home has simply gotten too expensive and you'd like to see if getting a fixer-upper might help you get more house for less money, this is the video for you. Whether you're a beginner or you've bought and sold homes before, understanding the basics is critical to getting a good deal. At the end of this video, I'll give you some financing ideas that could make things easier for you. Be sure to watch for that. So what is a fixer-upper home? A fixer-upper is a home that needs repairs but can still be lived in and is still worth fixing up instead of being torn down. In general, what this means is structurally the home is still sound. A house has good bones, as they like to say. Unless you're a seasoned flipper with a ton of real estate under your belt, always have a home inspection. No exceptions. Here's a pro tip. If a seller threatens to kill a deal over you having an inspection, move on. In my opinion, they're hiding something. Also, look for a house in a neighborhood that's improving. If you see a lot of homes for sale in the area, don't be afraid to ask around why so many people are leaving. So what does improving mean? It means people are moving into the area and taking care of their homes, and there's plenty of homes with nice curb appeal, and not just the ones for sale. Write that one down. Always keep in mind that saving money shouldn't be the only goal. Be sure to consider the other things that are important to you, like good schools, nearby parks, restaurants, and shopping. You may find a longer commute is just part of the deal in finding a home that's a bit more affordable. Let me give you a good example of a fixer-upper possibility. In some nice neighborhoods, there will be a house where an elderly couple has lived for 30, 40, 50 years. The home has been well maintained, the roof is good, the floors are level, but the walls haven't been painted in a decade, and the kitchen and bathrooms, they haven't been updated since 1980. One clue might be the curb appeal isn't great. This isn't always the case, but we'll kind of watch for that. Clearly, this is a perfect candidate for a fixer-upper. Sometimes these owners downsize or move to be closer to family or a retirement home. Or sometimes the house will be left for family members to deal with after they have left this earthly plane. You can bet that if a property is left to the heirs to sell, they'll massively overprice the house every single time. I'm going to help you figure out how to find one of these properties, but first, here's some things to be aware of. For an older home that hasn't been sold in decades, there can be things that need to be addressed. What I'm getting at is, for a home that's been sold in the near past, even 5 or 7 years ago, most major weaknesses will have been dealt with because the new buyer will make some important repairs conditional upon their purchase. So when inspecting an older home, confirm the foundation is strong, stable, solid, and dry. The electrical wiring and panels, they're up to code. The plumbing is updated, no galvanized. The roof shows no signs of rot. The HVAC is serviceable, and the windows are functioning properly. These are just a few things to watch for. At the same time, try not to let small things like a bad water heater throw you off. I want to make a point about home inspections. A home inspection is designed to give you a heads up on potential problems. Here's what I mean. A home inspector isn't qualified to tell you if an HVAC is bad, but they can tell you to hire an HVAC expert to come check out the unit to be sure if needed. The same thing with plumbing and electrical. The inspection expenses all in can save you thousands of dollars. Don't cheap out on inspections, please. I'm mentioning these things because they can take what would be a decent deal and turn it into a money pit. One final point is you can't force a seller to bring functional items up to code. For example, gas water heaters now have to be installed 18 inches off the floor. If the house you're looking at has a water heater that works, you can't ask them to lift it. That comes into play when it has to be replaced and is something to consider in the overall cost. The true beauty of buying a fixer-upper is this. Regardless of the amount of work that's needed, as long as it's easily livable, you can take as long as you need to do the upgrades. Fit things into your budget as you go along. You'll be tempted to try and do it all at once. I teach people to do one thing at a time as your budget allows. What are the things that can and should be expected when you buy a fixer-upper? Be ready to clean and paint all the walls. Be ready to update bathroom fixtures and tiles. Be ready to update kitchen appliances, cabinetry, and countertops. Be ready to replace the carpet, refinish hardwood flooring. Expect to redo the yard work, porches, and the back decks. Expect to replace the shingles in a few years. When it comes to fixer-uppers, there's different levels of improvements. First-time home buyers may just want to take a house from outdated to updated. More advanced buyers may want to completely remake a home, add more square footage, add stories, and change it to the point it's unrecognizable. This usually happens in an upscale neighborhood where there's historic charm surrounded by executive home. Still others will just tear it down and start new. That takes major bucks. So how do you find a fixer-upper in this market? I'll tell you, I've helped a lot of people find homes for a good deal. It's not rocket science, but more often than not, it takes patience. The first thing I'll tell you is this: the house you want, it's out there, but let it come to you. When the right house comes along, you'll know it. It's kind of a gut thing. Pass on homes that you struggle to see the value on. Don't be in a hurry to buy. Sellers love buyers that are in a hurry because they don't pay attention to detail. And you know where the devil is, right? What I'm going to be teaching here is how to give yourself fixer-upper options. What you're looking for are properties that are just sitting on the market. Don't go after a house the first day on the market. If you do, chances are you'll be bidding against other buyers, and that's exact opposite of what you want if you want to get a good house at a good price. The only exception on making an offer the first day is when it is the house of your dreams. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. In that case, be ready to pay top dollar. Otherwise, wait. A house that is overpriced either by comparative value or by condition will sit and stagnate. And pretty soon buyers will start to ask what's wrong with that house, or they just can't see the value. Some sellers still have what I call a hot market hangover, which is they still think it's 2021 and a dump will sell for model home prices. Those days are gone, and it takes a while for those sellers to get that message. Depending on the seller's motivation for selling, 15, 30, 45 days on the market sitting unsold starts to build up pressure. An overpriced home will ultimately sell for less than it would if priced right in the first place. Plus, on a house that's been actively for sale for some time, you can negotiate more concessions from the seller because they are ready to be done with the sale and move on. The secret is this: however you're searching for homes, be it a website like Zillow or using an agent, set up your search to notify you of those homes that are still on the market after a week or two. If I had to pick a number, it'd be 10 days. The reason for that is this: hot properties sell fast and for top dollar, and that includes distressed homes. In order to get the best deal price-wise, you're looking for a house that has been pretty much ignored. They will either be just overpriced for the market, or they haven't been priced correctly to account for a less than perfect condition. Let me try to make this clear. When you make an offer on a house and you're the only one the seller's working with, they don't want to lose you. They'll act like they don't care, but trust me, they do. That does not mean they'll accept a super lowball offer, but you can ask for more than you think you can and get it. If you get one under contract, the worst that can happen is that you'll spend money on an inspection. If the inspection makes you jumpy, move on, try again. I'm going to say this one last time. Let the right house come to you. Again, you'll know it when it shows up. Trust me. I've seen this 100 times. Have your inspection. If it passes, buy your house. This process really works. When it comes to financing, that can be tricky. You can buy a fixer-upper home with a conventional loan and pay out of pocket for the repairs, or you can get a mortgage that's designed to help you finance the house and the renovations. Look into an FHA 203K loan. There's limits and guidelines that must be followed. Be sure to talk to your lender about this for all those details. Look into a 203K streamlined as well. Those are for less demanding homes in terms of the repairs needed. The bottom line is talk to your lender. There could be new programs introduced to facilitate exactly what you're trying to do. Shop your lenders. Don't commit till you find one that doesn't push and gives you the best deal. I hope you found this video helpful and that you'll share it if you did. If you're thinking about moving this way, I hope you'll reach out to me. The contact details are in the description box below. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.